Welcome back to CorelDraw. Now today we are going to be learning how to work with the shadow tool set. So for that we are going to select two objects, 1 and 2. Okay, let's go with the first one. Now what is shadow? Shadow, as we all know, is a shadow. So you could have a shadow which is on top of the object, or you could have a shadow which is at the bottom. Once I fill color, only then will you see the shadow, because if you don't fill color, this is not a solid object, it is a transparent object and therefore will not have a shadow. Now what is the color of the shadow that you want? Let's say it's a red object, I want a red shadow. The depth of my shadow should be how I want it to be. I want a shadow within the object. Can you see what is happening? So this is turning maroon, where in this particular thing, if I say green, yellow is going to be different. If I say black, is going to be that way. So is dropping the shadow of its own thing right on itself. This could be very well done when you are creating certain artworks where you need that thing to you need to show sunlight kind of a thing, a shadow falling on something else. So instead of that object's shadow falling on it, you can actually put that same object as a shadow. Second then is normal, add, subtract, multiply. So you'll have to play with these, and all of them give you a slightly different output. As you can see, this needs a lot of practice and cannot be done in a short video like this. You'll have to play with it. Then this is, let's say this is a shadow and it's normal. Okay, now what is this? This is feathering. This is transparency of the shadow. So how hard I want my shadow to be? Can you see? It's hard. The blackness will increase. Okay, as I go down, the hardness will decrease. Then in this, how much feathering do I want? So that even if I make it really hard, can you see the light is extremely diffuse? So you can play with this and you can work around this. Again, the angle of the shadow can be adjusted directly from here. As you can see, these values change. Or if you have a custom, for example, -1, tab -1, okay, tab -1, so it will perfectly go to that position and it will give you the shadow. And let's say I don't want my shadows anymore, I say clear shadow. So that's how all these presets work. And I have created a shadow again. Okay, and I want top right shadow, bottom shadow, left shadow. So these are presets. Okay, you can work around them and then automatically goes into preset. It doesn't give you the same name. See, as soon as I change this, it will get into preset. The name changes. So I can use this particular shadow the way I want it. Fine. And again, as I don't want a shadow, I say clear shadow. So that's how it's going to work. Next is contour. Now this object I want it contoured. In how many steps I can increase the number of steps. Okay, by what distance I can increase or decrease the thickness distance. So don't you think you can create a good psychedelic effect? Let's say I just change my fill color to blue, so I'm going to get the output. If I make it red again, let's see what I get. If I make my fill blue, you see that? So I can keep changing this and working with this depending on how many steps I want. So if I take the slider right up there, it will give me 392 steps. Take it right down at the bottom, it will give me 1 step. So you can change your number of steps in this. Okay, and if I click somewhere else, let's say over here, it will even reduce my size. So if you click outside, can you see the size? So that is this one that changes. Okay, have a look at this one and see what happens when I change it. Can you see the numbers are increasing? Keep your eye up there in this box. So that's how it is going to work. The next is what is miltered corners. Now let's work on this object where this might work out better. So let's say I want to contour this. Okay, now when I say miltered corners in this fill, yes, sorry, I had to activate this. Now these will work. You see, rounded corners. So you can have, so the last one will be fully rounded and your original is going to be the rectangle. So it's going to work with blend as well as the this. Then linear contours clockwise. So this will go according to the color wheel clockwise. This will go counterclockwise according to the color wheel. So yellow is very close to green, so you might only get 2 or 3 colors. But if you go clockwise, yellow to green, you will get the whole palette. And then like you can even copy the properties to this object. So you see, so you can copy properties of different objects and you can come here and say that okay, now this thing is there, I want to clear the contour. So that's how you come to your natural object. Now there is one thing which is very important, which in this there is one thing that is very important. You can break the contour apart. Okay, so once you come here, your primary object gets separated from the contour, and then when you ungroup it, all of them will get separated. So let's say that if you want to create a nice good color palette, that could also be very well created in this way, that you create it with the help of a contour and then you just ungroup it, and then we have clear contour. Okay, we clear the contour and we come back to our original objects. Fine. What is next? Next is blend. Now this is also a very nice way of working with artworks. Come here, I want to blend this to a circle. In this also I can increase or decrease the number of steps. So I can make it 2, 1. So you get this middle thing, which is not even a rectangle, not even a circle. So you can increase the number of steps. This with the help of this you can actually take it nearer or further to the object, so more rounded corners will come and work will happen that way. So this is the second one. So let's say I want this will show more of the red one, this will show the opposite colors. Can you see? The colors that are closer to red will come here, colors that are closer to yellow will come here. Next is your object and color. Can you see this? So it's locked right now. If I unlock it, I can even change the color of the near object also. So if I want this, it will show me the colors that are closer to red. Here it will show me colors that are closer to yellow. Same with the object. Okay, so my colors are remaining the same, only my object is playing around. Third object, let's say from here I want this is blue, and from this same one I want to start this new one. From here I want to say, let's take one more object, we take a star. Okay, we let this be so this is our contour. We say start new, come to this object. From here I want it to be also on a triangle. So that is how you start new. Again from here, if I want, I can click on this object, and from here I can come here. So that's how I could create a whole set of, now they all are yet independent of each other. You can reduce or increase the step on each and every one of them. Okay, now you say split nodes. If I say okay, split this node, so what happens is that this object I can change the direction. If I come here, split. Okay, so from this piece onwards is going to split. So that's how I can split the nodes, and that's how this works. So I'm going to select all, delete, we create our parent objects all over again. Okay, then there is distort. Now distort, now why is this piece distorting? Because this is the last active piece. Okay, so I can come here, I can say distort. Now you will say it's uncontrollable, this is too much. So you can come here, you can say only pull corners, come here, push corners, come here, twister. But can you see all these are changing? You can come here, stamp. Okay, so here your thing is only increasing or decreasing. You can increase or decrease it in any way, so it looks like a stamp. Then you can click it a zipper. So depending on where you have selected the object and you have worked on it, it will work like a zipper. Okay, so we come back to our original object and we play with these. Now this, if I say, this will take the in and out, and if I click it from out, it will work this way. So you can create tents, amoebas and things like that. You see that? You come here, you twirl it round, you can keep swirling it. It's very similar to that swirl that we saw, but this works on the whole object, not on a corner. So that's the difference. The next is this particular thing. Then come here. So you can keep adding these particular things to them. So it's not that you did one and it's over. You can keep adding them. Okay, you come here, clear distortion, clear distortion, clear distortion. So you'll have to clear each and every one of them. You have the option of making an anti-clockwise or clockwise also. Okay. Then next is envelope. Envelope is very similar to what we did, and envelope is again used more over for text. We had seen this shape tool that also creates similar kind of an output. Yeah, this smear, just add this so your nodes come in. So it works very similarly. Now in this particular thing, let's say I have undone Control Z, I have pressed one time extra. So how do I redo that? I Control Shift and Z. So Control Z, Control Shift Z. So that's how I come back to my shape. Now this is extrude. What is extrude? Extrude allows me to extrude this. So it will look like a keyboard button. Okay. This will, if I click on this object and I say extrude, it will look like a conical. So it helps you extrude. Next is block shadow. Now what is block shadow? This is a block shadow. Fill it with color and then you apply block shadow. So this is what you get, a very solid hard shadow. Okay, in this also you can change the color of the shadow, change the size of the shadow. You can see, you can even change the you can have it simplified where the block shadow is away from the object, and if you do it, then the outline of the shadow also, because this is the outer glow of the shadow and this is removing the shadow altogether. So this is shadow. So these are the tools of shadow.